Good day everyone, we are Group 1 and today we were going to discuss on the use and abuse of history for life by Friedrich Nietzsche. But before we go into the discussion of it, let me give you a simple introduction about Friedrich Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche was a German philosopher and cultural critic whose prolific writings in the late 19th century have greatly influenced Western philosophy. His works cover a wide range of topics including truth, morality, language, aesthetics, cultural theory, history, nihilism, power, consciousness, and the meaning of existence. And today we will be discussing one of his notable works on the use and abuse of history for life. But before we delve deeper into this topic, let me give you a simple introduction about this piece. So, On the Use and Abuse of History for Life is a philosophical essay by Friedrich Nietzsche that explores the significance of history in shaping human existence. In this work, Nietzsche examines how individuals and societies can utilize historical knowledge to enrich their lives and cultivate a meaningful existence. He questions the idea of objectivity in historical interpretation, suggesting that historians often inject their own biases into their narratives. Nietzsche warns against the danger of allowing history to dominate our understanding of the present, emphasizing the importance of avoiding stagnation and fostering growth. Instead, he encouraged us to reinvigorate our approach to history, extracting valuable lessons that can enrich our lives and propel us forward, personally and his society.
So, in this part, we're going to talk about the use and meaning of history, according to Nietzsche, as he talks about how history isn't just a bunch of old facts gathering dust. He sees it as a tool that helps us figure out who we are and why we are here. So, we will going to divide it into three parts, which is shaping identity, providing meaning, and its relevance and significance. First, in shaping identity is like making who we are. According to Nietzsche, the stories we tell about the past shape our sense of self and where we belong. By looking at history through our own eyes, we can create stories that make sense to us and help us feel connected to our past. This connection gives us a sense of purpose and direction in our lives. The second one is providing or finding meaning. History isn't just about dates and events, it's about understanding how those events fit into the bigger picture of life. By interpreting history in our own way, we can learn important lessons and principles that guide us in our choices and beliefs today. So, history becomes like a treasure chest of wisdom that makes our lives richer and more meaningful. The last one is its relevance and significance, or staying relevant. Nietzsche says that when we look at history from our own perspective, we can see how it relates to our lives today. By finding the hidden meanings in historical stories, we can learn valuable lessons about human nature and society that helps us deal with the challenges or struggles we face right now. So history isn't something dead and gone, but it is alive and can help us tackle the problems of today. That's all.
On Nietzsche's critique of objectivity, he argues that objectivity in history may not be possible. He argues that historical inquiry is inherently subjective. Interpretation of historical evidence is either influenced by cultural, ideological, or psychological factors. Best examples that we can get from this is the Nazis' Reich or the Third Reich during the Nazi regime in Germany. They made the German people think that they are the Aryan race or the supreme race, using the twisted narratives on their histories. That's another sample will be the on the American Civil War, wherein the Confederates changed the narrative, making them the good guys, or convincing the American people about the lost cause, which is which is somewhat related with the slavery and the power of the states in the American or the U.S. federal system before, which dictates how the state's supposed to ban or continue practicing slavery. Therefore, the history is being influenced by by ideological factors. On psychological factors, the same thing can be applied with the Nazi regime as well, when they convince the German people that the Jews are the enemy. Or let's look for another example. For the cultural factor, well, the Communist Party of China convinced that they own the whole mainland, something like that, or that when Mao Zedong led the Cultural Revolution, he convinced that they must reject the old. Therefore, the interpretation of historical evidence is influenced either by ideological, cultural, or psychological factors. Next, historians we inevitably bring own biases, values, and perspectives. Best quote that we can connote on this idea is the quotation that we usually hear, that victors, or history is being written by the victors, because who will be the one that will write the side of the defeated people, or the ones that got annihilated if no one was left from their tribe or from their civilization. Therefore, it could be the historian's belief or own biases that could influence his way of writing. Also, objectivity only serves to conceal the subjective nature of historical inquiry. Some historians may try to, tell, tell us that history is a field of study based on facts. However, the power of history to define the people's past and mold it to become the people's future as well is the reason why most of the time history is being used on its subjective nature. And that's Nietzsche's critic on history's objectivity.
Caution on historical dominance. Excessive reverence for the past or the imposition of historical narratives can limit individual freedom and creativity. So, Nietzsche warns against the tendency for societies to become overly fixated on the past, leading to a form of historical dominance where the narratives and values of previous eras hold excessive sway over contemporary life. He suggests that this excessive reverence for the past can stifle individual freedoms and creativity by imposing rigid constraints based on outdated ideas and norms. He also argues that such narratives can restrict the ability of individuals to critically engage with history and shape their own identities in the present. Harnessing renewal and growth. History should be harnessed as a tool for personal and cultural renewal. History should inspire individuals to live more fully and passionately in the present. So, here are some key points regarding this aspect. First is dynamic engagement, where Nietzsche emphasizes the importance of actively engaging with history as a means of fostering personal and cultural renewal, rather than passively accepting historical narratives as fixed and immutable. Individuals should critically examine and reinterpret the past in light of present circumstances. Next is source of inspiration. In History should inspire individuals to live more fully and passionately in the present by uncovering the subjective meanings and interpretations embedded within historical narratives. Individuals can find relevance and significance in the past, and that informs their present experiences. History serves as a source of inspiration that encourages individuals to embrace life with vitality and enthusiasm. And cultural renewal plays a crucial role in shaping cultural identity and fostering cultural renewal. By critically examining and reinterpreting historical narratives, societies can challenge entrenched beliefs and values that may inhibit progress and growth. This process of cultural renewal enables societies to adapt to changing circumstances and embrace new possibilities for collective development.
In conclusion, Friedrich Nietzsche's On the Use and Abuse of History for Life provides a compelling perspective on the role of history in shaping our understanding of the world. Through his critique of objectivity, Nietzsche highlights the subjective nature of historical interpretation, urging readers to approach historical accounts with skepticism and awareness of biases. He cautions against allowing history to dominate our present existence, emphasizing the importance of avoiding stagnation and fostering growth. Also, Nietzsche encouraged a renewal of historical interpretation that serves the purpose of enriching our lives and propelling us forward personally and societally. By embracing this approach, we can extract valuable lessons from the past to guide us toward a more vibrant and meaningful future. Thank you.